Good morning, family. Oh, so I finally got a little table set up so I can do outside readings, but it's a little crooked. The land is not even, and that's okay. That's okay. So, welcome to this is going to be the full moon in Aquarius, August 22nd reading. We're just going to do a little bit of a prayer. Just wanting to thank our higher selves, thanking God for blessing this day, for blessing these decks, and for blessing these messages as we open up to these sacred messages in their highest vibrational form based upon purity, freedom, free will, autonomy, and sovereignty for all. Amen. Okay. So we're going to start out with the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. So we are going to be focusing on full moon in Aquarius on August 22nd. What do the cards want to say? What messages can we bring forward for the collective regarding August 22nd, this full moon coming up? Full moon in Aquarius. So this is the bookend marker of a huge passageway of unlocking a lot of DNA, clearing a lot of pathways, clearing a lot of the inorganic trajectories and allowing in more of Gaia's organic ascension path. And it's really time for all of us to take a moment and to listen to the voice of the heart and the higher self within us, to listen to our DNA, to listen to our body. This is going to be, the feeling of this right now is very much so a moment at a time, right? A moment to be completely with self, and to encompass our lives in the new that we are creating now and calling forward. There's experiences of the past that have been coming up through this passageway and that are continuing to dissolve right now from humanity. And so for right now, it's really important for us to stay focused on our higher vision, our higher goals, our higher paths, and what that looks like for us, and allowing the shifts and the changes to occur. So let's do okay. So we have lightning, middle world, lightning, middle world, and we're gonna do that upright in the council. Okay. Whew. Okay. So first card out, we have lightning. So we're very much so there's been an electrical surge or an electrical charge that's been coming through the collective that's been really breaking down our own electrical systems and our own magnetic charges. Okay, so this is very mental focused, mind focused, mind and body focused, mind body centering, right? Clearing out the old thoughts, clearing out the old dark illusions, clearing out the old ego, clearing out the identity. When we start to clear out the identity, this is when many start to hit dark nights of the soul. Cool. Dark nights of the soul. This is when people start to come into what we would call existential crisis. This is when we start to encounter a lot of grieving patterns, and how we detach from the mind, the mental body, and from the mindscape. This is very much so a time of reclaiming our power, right? A reclamation of power, a reclamation of our sovereignty, a reclamation of our truth, and standing in that organically. It's like there's a new universe being born within all of us right now, and within the collective. Like there's a new humanity that's on the rise right now. Energetically speaking, you might feel very charged, like you need to get a lot done, very amplified in the frequencies. Central nervous system, okay? Focus on the central nervous system. This is about heart expansion. And I'm seeing this as a portal, as a gateway. So it's really cool because the portal opened up yesterday, and it's an 8-day portal. And I had heard, and I had put this on my YouTube community page, the 22nd to the 28th is going to be a time for rest, a time for sacred rest. And that's what the rest of the reading is kind of showing up as right now. So focus on your core. Focus on your core wounding, your core availability. Focus on your bioluminescence. Bioluminescence. So interesting. Very much so a water feature. Even though this is a lightning card, bioluminescence speaks of water, phytoplankton. And basically what we're doing is we're activating a new level of luminescence and luminaries associated with divine water and the oceanic realms. And so this is really much so speaking about a watery support, an emotional charge support, but also the water is speaking through right now in the frequency, whales, dolphins, sea creatures, sea anemones, once again, phytoplankton, right? Not all that wander are lost. Drifters, right? Coming into a new flow, a new current, a new stage of our lives, and how we access that and how we shift through these new stages and this new flow. Opening up to a new level of integration of the light codes that are going to be coming through. And we're going to be blasting ourselves out into new trajectories in outer space, I'm hearing and feeling from this card, right? And there's a whole level of renewal that is coming from this card through the full moon. The middle world, to me, is speaking of middle earth, the middle path of the master, but it's also speaking of the Gaian focused realms. Elemental cleanup is coming here. Elemental cleanup. And it's interesting, these argonauts are showing up here. So the spirals, the seashells, right? This is very much so about a surprise from the water worlds that is showing up on Gaia. And it's interesting because we can access the oceanic realms from anywhere. Like I just remembered recently and discovered from a friend that, from my sister Julie, that Arizona used to be an ocean, right? And so the oceanic realms, like the fossils, the energy from those oceanic realms, from places like Lemuria and Atlantis, are being cleared right now, and that's a part of this middle world, right? But there's also this sense of right now a almost a bubble or a blanket wrapped around the earth in regards to the Gaian realms, like a new protection, a new hologram. This is almost, to me, speaking of building a new hologram, a whole new holographic reality. That's really coming forward from the DNA coding that's been coming forward. So the new DNA coding is affecting our morphogenetic field. As we're clearing out the old hologram from the cellular memory, we activate a new hologram. So this is going to require stability, balance for our own lives, and it's going to require us to constantly tune and listen to what our needs are in every now moment. What our body needs, what our mind needs, what our essence is calling forward for ourselves, what our higher selves need from us at this time. The counsel card. Moments of rest, moments of reflection, seeking your internal counsel and your own internal guidance. This is about how we are building new earth pathways through our own internal resistance, through our own struggle, and through the old narratives that are showing up, right? Because I feel like that's what this energy is going to be bringing forward, is a lot of grief, a lot of trauma, a lot of things involving safety. So this to me is very much so coming back into finding safety within the form, finding safety within the heart space, taking moments to breathe and to be. This feels like it's a relaxation kind of a time to just kind of sit and be with self and to be gentle with self, right? It's interesting. I feel like this is also too about a merger of different aspects of ourselves. Reclamation of the new governing body, our light body, but also it's like there's a multidimensional merger that's occurring. The way that I'm seeing the light codes on her face that are drawn, she has two different codes written on her face, and she's almost looking like an angel, fairy, elven mix blended together, right? And what I'm hearing is the Great Hope Diamond, right? It's like it's a reclamation of our hope, and a reclamation of our future pathways through this. So as we're going through this moment of transition, make sure you are reclaiming your higher self connection, deepening the connection with yourself, but also reclaiming your soul, reclaiming your DNA memory, your archival memory. So different star civilizations, different realms, especially with middle world, we could think of inner earth. You know, the middle world is a shamanic realm. That's usually what we would call a fourth dimensional realm, a fourth dimensional level of existence. Because there's a lower world, a middle world, and the upper world. And the middle world, to me, is where we meet more of our ancestors, more of our ancestral line, more of the elementals, too. And this is also resembling completions and new beginnings. Interesting. 36, 3 plus 6 equals 9. That to me is very much so coming forward as an ending. So there's some sort of ending of pathways, and I actually just did a reading about this. Okay. That there's an ending of pathways and there's a new beginning, with the council being number 11 here. Council being number 11. Son of Pentacles in reverse. And I'm hearing I Will Leave the Light On. It's a song by Tom Walker. This to me is very much so speaking about our innocence, the youthful presence, the youthful parts of ourselves, actually. Grounding in a new level of innocence, and I feel like that's what this council card is kind of bringing forward. Like, it's like there's almost a soul retrieval of the inner child, or of the divine child, almost the divine boy within us, and how that shows up to play. Son of Pentacles is almost telling me like your fresh start right now might be on pause. So you might feel like you're in a limbo frequency for a little while from the middle world card too. It's almost like a bardo or a limbo frequency. And it's not a time of doing, it's a time of being. And allowing the fresh start, the fresh pages to be started off. So like you might feel youthful and adventurous and seeking and kind of in a doing energy, especially with all this lightning energy. But I feel like we're going to be in a little bit of a standstill through this gate, right? Through this gate. This to me is also speaking of ending people pleasing. So look at everywhere you've been a people pleaser, because I'm seeing this as almost like a fawn or a buck right now. And it's like there's a maturation of essence, but also to me it's very much so coming forward right now of being mindful of where you are people pleasing. I think it's time to focus that pleasure to self, to your truth, to your abilities, to your. It's like investing in yourself. Take a moment to invest in yourself through this passageway. So through the 28th, right? Just invest in yourself as much as possible. I feel like we're gonna fill up just enough to be able to bounce out of this when the next alignment occurs for all of us. So I'm hearing divine witness your own programming. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of stuff. Yeah. Whoop. A lot of stuff that comes up for all of us right now. Become a divine witness to your own programming. Feel what you need to feel. Son of Cups. It's interesting that we have two suns here. Two suns. One of earth. One of grounded practicality. One of the emotional realm. Both in reverse. So I feel like this is has to do with material aspects. And this one has to do with the release of emotions right now. It's almost like there's a there might be things that we need to let go of in the physical. Relationships, people, places, things, tangible things, foods, materials. And there's going to be an emotional release from this too. So this is asking us to go in and to reflect. Yeah, keep asking your higher self what you need to do. Keep going really deep within and ask your higher self. Everything right now is about a return to balance. It's a return to balance in our own lives and according to our future visions that we hold from within. Yep, the Emperor card. The Emperor card. There's a new masculine that's showing up, a new divine masculine frequency within ourselves, within our hearts. This is about making plans now too. This is about planning our future digestibly. It's not future focused, it's not linear, but it's beginning to sort out all of our abundance and lack issues to come into greater clarity of what we want and what we desire and what actions we need to put in towards receiving that. The Emperor card is really talking to me about standing firm in your root system, in your roots. Because there's a whole root restructuring that's going on. And so I think about this is stand tall, weather the storm, know who you are, right? And with it being with the Council card, it's like being firm in this soft energy, which is possible. It's standing true to who you are in the soft balance of your essence and in your truth. This is also speaking to me about solar gateways. So not only are we going to have activity from Luna, but we're going to have activity from the sun as well peeking through. So this is very much so going to be an energetically charged. Yeah, especially with lightning and the Emperor here, it feels like it's very much so active in the energies, masculine in the energies. Very electrical system, very nervous system, limbic system, very much so light coded, right? And so when we spark those electrical systems, our nervous system can get kicked up. I just talked about this earlier. So this is going to be a time about softening and nurturing through this, because the energies are very masculine focused energies. It's a very masculine focused energy, but the softening of the feminine and allowing the feminine in to support these masculine energetics that are arriving is going to help to bring things into balance. I'm also seeing a lot of purity. Don't pressure yourself to be too pure right now. Just be yourself. Allow your soul, allow your essence to override and to overwrite that which you are doing. Like allow the purity to come naturally. Don't try to force yourself into purity. The energy here is almost like it's like clearing the stagnancy out, but how we do that is by being with it. Ten of Swords. This is betrayal. And this is what's coming to a close. Interesting. Ten of Swords, Eight of Wands. It's like there's a new cycle that's opening up for us. Once again, lightning coming in. It's like striking down and breaking these things apart. And once again, electrical energy. So it's going to be electrical focus, electrical systems. We might see power outages. So if power outages happen, that's okay. Storms, too, very much so, speaking of electrical energy. This to me is about ending our stubborn belief systems, not budging. The Ten of Swords right now. Even though Ten of Swords speaks of betrayal and wounding, the way I see the bull and the eyes through the bull, it's ending stubborn patterning, ending stubborn parenting, too. This is like opening up to a whole new flow. So these energies are very much so going to put an end. Like this is to me almost like sensing like the straw that broke the camel's back. And it ties very much so into the reading of earlier, which was about rapid closures, rapid exits, mass exodus, right? And exodus can be seen two ways. This is people departing from this world and from these systems, but it's also people departing from systems, energetic migration patterns. So exodus also means we're leaving the old and walking into the new confidently. And I feel like that's why this active energy is here. Is it's a propulsion forward into our new pathways. And so we just have to allow the ignition to occur. This is very much so about sparking our own internal magnetism, our own internal magnets. Interesting. Yeah, a part of the reversal and the polarity on the magnetism within our own body is that we dismantle the old magnetics, and we activate the new magnetics. So this is really coming forward as about art of attraction. That's why we're going into being states here, is because now with the increase of our own electromagnetism, we're going to be able to magnetically charge and call forward what we need on our journey and on our path. This almost feels like a simplification of the way that we're doing things in our life, like closer to 0 point, closer to a more balanced routine and a balanced cycle, where doing and receiving is going to be reshaped in our own lives, especially with the Emperor card here. Like there's going to be a new level of doing with a new level of being that's going to simplify our process. It's going to flow a lot better. I feel like, you know, lately I've been getting the starts and stops, the pushes and the pulls. That was a part of the magnetic shifting, the polarity shifting in our own body and tuning to a new field of consciousness. And now that we are accessing this new field of consciousness back to the middle world, so coming into more of a organic connection to the unified field, okay, it's going to be easier to call forward solutions. It's going to be easier to call forward abundance. It's like this is really creating a lot of ease on our journey. But the thing that we need to let go of is where we've been betrayed by others, because this is a unity-focused direction. Everything coming into a point of singularity, right? Like a removal of the old pathways and a reclamation of the rainbow bridge and the rainbow pathway. But what we have to do is we have to let go of this stuck energy. Where we've been hurt, where we've been betrayed. This is like almost like the war pathways, the war timelines, softening the edges and coming into a new level of balance in our own lives. That's one too many cards. And those are cards I pulled last night. So yeah, Hangman, Daughter of Cups in reverse, Son of Wands in reverse. Hangman. Moments of reflection. Moments to go within. Once again, this council card, just confirmation, is like the solar energy coming through is going to require us to go within to reclaim our solar DNA and our solar inheritance. Interesting. Solar soul inheritance. We have Daughter of Cups in reverse, Son of Wands in reverse. Yeah, this is a time of non-action, right? Time of being still and a time of being silly. Okay, and once again, with all this youthful presence and youthful energy, it's really truly about going within. Without having to go into detail, overall, it's the same theme. It's very child focused, and I feel like this is reclaiming our inner child, our solar child, and our solar feminine. This is all coming through as like a reversal. So if you feel like your world gets tossed upside down, without having to go into too much detail, so I could keep this a little bit more broad and kind of like a general message, if you find yourself like your world's been flipped upside down, it's because it has. Interesting. Freedom Support Network is being built right now. So there's something about freedom codes and divine destiny that's coming through this pathway for our kids as well. Because when I see the snake, it's interesting. I see the snake and the duck right next to each other. This is normally a pair that doesn't get along. Because the snake, you would think that one is a predator. This is almost like alpha and beta coming together. Like one's a predator, one's the victim, one's the victimizer. But that they're in reverse and they're in the youthful stage of things, it's like it's an unlikely match of these energetics. Shadow and light meeting together. Transforming the child. New creations and new emotional well-being. But we have to clear out all of this old. Because we actually have the sun. Ooh, we have the sun and the daughter here. We do have the sun and the daughter here. So we have almost like a union energy coming through. But these are pages. So this is a part of the maturation that's occurring. Since we have 3 suns present and a daughter of cups, the daughter of cups present, this is a maturation. Hence why this chrysalis energy is here with the hangman, like going within. Same with the cancel, going within. It's a ripening. That's occurring. So allow yourself to unfold. This has been happening for me. I've been seeing and hearing the terrible twos as my kid acts up. There's something about maturing the starseed, maturing the indigo. And it's almost like there's this grandparent energy frequency that's showing up in that essence. The grandfather, the grandparent. Almost like a rite of passage opening up. So, stabilize by grounding out your energy body into the soil. Get your feet in the dirt. It will help. Get your feet in the sand. It will help. Water might help too. But water tends to stimulate electricity a little bit more. It might help soften some people. So if there's a way for you to go into, because this is very much so, we have a lot of active cards here, a lot of active energy. Fire, electric. Water's a little bit more passive, same with earth. So this is about coming into balance. Tune to your higher self and ask what stabilizes you. Is it crystals? Is it water? Is it vegetables, fruit? Stabilize your system. Stay away from stimulants right now, if you can. Like, drink more water. It might help you to ground out and to flow through the electrical currents. Water is a really good conduit of electricity. And so there's something about hydration that's coming forward in this. And it's almost like deleting the old divine counterpart, too. This is for someone in here. Delete the way that you let go of the way that you view the divine counterparts and what that it's almost like a clearing of romanticism. Allow it to show up new. Because there's the partners are meant to build out together. And it's like you need to, whoever this message is for in the collective, and even for the collective message, reframe the way that you look at divine partnerships that's soul aligned, higher self aligned, not human aligned. And also reframe the way you look at creative energy and how you work with creative energy. It's going to require stillness and balance on your part, and maybe some activity, going for a run, going for a hike, going for a jog, going for a walk. It's because it's stimulating a phase of your light body, but some people might be connecting to this in a different way, and as a result, this creative energy picking up, people, yeah, ugh. People might start falling in love really quickly and might give into karmic pathways. I actually read a sister talking about this the other day, that energy has been really produced and people have been like falling in love faster. It's like this love is in the air, right? And we might be taking a moment to go within and to connect to that energy in a different way and see it in a different way will help, right? That's a part of the maturing of the child that's going to happen. And for our teenager aspects, rebellious teenager, connect with it differently. It will help through this. We don't want to give our power away, give our emotions away, or give our creations away to anyone. We want to honor fully and allow and be able to receive the higher light quotient that's available. And we don't want to drain our batteries too quickly. So if you see yourself as a battery, a giant battery, right? How do you recharge? Daily. What do you need to recharge? Mindfulness. Be thoughtful in your approach to situations. Compassionate, right? This is very much so slowing down, because it feels like this energy right now is going to kick up a lot of activity for those that don't know it. And for us to be able to, when the activity rises up and things kind of like quake and shake and it gets like amplified, us being able to slow down is going to be able to retrain the mind on how to balance, retrain the body on how to balance. And usually energies like this kick up a lot of emotion in the collective. So stabilizing and grounding will help. Interesting. I'm hearing performance anxiety too. Yeah, stop trying to perform. Just be your authentic essence and relax. Step into your organic flow. There's something very natural that wants to speak forward. And I keep looking at this council card. Like, there's a part of you that's very natural and you don't need to try so hard. So just come back into balance. Forgive the human for having its way and having its days, and show gratitude to the essence of you that's shining forward and coming online right now. Okay? Alrighty. So general themes, always fun playing with cards, always fun playing with the essence, always fun returning to innocence. And a reclamation of innocence is really, it's, reclamation of innocence, reclamation of the avatar consciousness, reclamation of our soul and our monadic truth and our monadic body is very much so up right now through this, guys. So anyways, have fun. Play with your high vibrational lunar frequencies. Play with your gifts, skills, talents, and abilities. Stay soft, stay kind, stay loving, stay balanced, and keep doing your thing. You're loved eternally. All right, I love you guys. Much love and respect to everyone out there. Thank you so much for subscribing, for liking, for commenting, for donating, for your gifts. More updates coming soon, more tuning coming soon. So with that, thank you again, and stay open to receiving. Okay, love you guys. See you soon.